And we're live. Okay, guys, thanks for being on. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Belize trip and some of our takeaways from it. So a lot of you are probably listening to this as a recording, which is great. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I think the overall theme of this for all of us was just to make sure that we're taking time for ourselves and taking time for renewal. I think you'll hear that theme throughout. It was just an amazing experience to go on a vacation and just really recharge your batteries without having any expectations or any plans when you're there. I don't think I've ever taken a vacation where I didn't really have any plans. So it was just really amazing to do something and just completely let go and completely relax. One of the biggest things that I personally took away from this trip was having more fun. I feel like in this business, as you grow your business and you get a team, we tend to just be really serious about our business and what we're doing, which is good. We want to make sure that, we look at this as a business because it is. But just because it's a business doesn't mean that we can't have a really good time and have fun. So for me personally, I just want to make sure that I'm having fun in whatever I'm doing and that I'm doing more of the stuff that makes me happy. And honestly, doing this business makes me really happy. And I found out that I doing one-on-one calls with my coaches is what really made me tick, and it really gave me such a sense of passion and purpose. And I had moved away from one-on-one calls at the beginning of this year because I felt like I needed to group people, and one-on-one calls were taking a lot of my time. But through this retreat, I found out that one-on-one calls really made my business what it is and made me really passionate about it. So I need to go back to those one-on-one calls, and I need to make sure that the people that I'm giving those one-on-one calls to, deserve my time. So there's always going to be a balance, and there's always going to be, struggles, but doing what makes you happy and learning how to run your business for what works for you. And what works for me is really to have a really close relationship with my team and to work with them one-on-one. So those were kind of my two biggest takeaways, just having fun and not being so serious, and then really doing my version of this business. I don't have to do what other top coaches are doing. I can just do me. So that was really a takeaway, probably the biggest takeaways for me. I have many more, but I'm going to open it up to Lauren and Carly, and you guys can share if you guys felt the same way, or if you had a different, version of what you felt during that, during the trip. Anyone? You guys want to talk?
We both pointed at each other, so. Well, honestly, I think I'm trying to think of it and put it into words, but one of my biggest takeaways from just listening to, actually, I don't know if everyone on the call knows who was there, but, we had 3 out of the top 10, coaches from 2013 there. And one of the nights that hit me most was when all 3 of them were sitting up in front, and we were kind of just having an open forum and talking about, it was just an open forum of FAQs. We could ask them whatever we wanted. And I just loved how any question we got 3 different answers, which meant, kind of what Sarah was saying, that there's really no right way to do this business as long as, we're passionate about it. And, that's just another thing that, that really hit me while we were gone too, is that every single person we talked to, we love this business, and not just because of the financial rewards or our team or how fast we're growing or what rank we are, but it was just cool because we had everyone from, I think, just active coaches, to all the way to, what's Tara's a 15-star diamond or whatever she is. And everyone resonated with Beachbody itself, not just the business. We all had a reason for starting. starting this business and being a customer first. I think most of us were customers first. And it was just cool to hear that, so many people had a story, and it didn't matter what it was, but we all, were passionate about this business. And like Sarah said, another thing is fun. Yeah, definitely. I took that away that, we're so blessed to be working this business. And if we're not taking advantage of the fact that we can make our own hours and we can take off time and we can go have fun, then, what's the point of being in this business? And, another thing I think was, living a life that people are drawn to. I talk to my team about this all the time. And you don't want to be talking about, or I know sometimes when I get stressed, I sometimes talk about, or not talk about, but I can lead off that I'm a little bit stressed. But sometimes, every single day I'm blessed to be working this business and being in a business that I love. And if I'm not talking about it, that every single day, people won't be drawn to it. And because I really do wake up every single day excited about this business, whether I'm tired or I'm, a little bit stressed or not. So just going back to living a life that, people are drawn to. And I think that's super important. And I know, a lot of you know that in 2.5 weeks or like 11 days left of being super nanny, I'm going to be full time. So, one of the biggest things on my checklist is to be making sure I'm doing something fun every day, and posting about it and talking about it, because people want to know, why do you have the opportunity to go do these fun things and yet you're still working? And I just think that's important to have that balance of, fun and business, because that really is what this business is about. And going back on what Sarah said too about, really working with the people who show, that they're ready to be working and things like that. I think that's super important. Something else I worked with is not spreading myself too thin, and just really putting into the people who want to kind of run alongside you. I know Sarah used that metaphor with me a few months ago, is running with the runners. And I think that's okay. It's just, setting expectations for yourself and also for your team. And that's another big one I learned.
Yeah, just to kind of bounce off what Carly was saying, I think so often as new coaches or just coaches, you're focused on selling a product, and it's really not about selling a product. It's about selling people on your life. And so living the life that other people are going to want to live, and living the life that you want to live, and living the life of your dreams, and really sharing that. Like Carly talked about, the flexibility that this job gives you or gives me. It's given me the freedom to travel and to do all these fun things. So Amy Silverman really talked about just really attracting people to you, and by living the life that, by selling them on your life more than a product. And if you follow Amy Silverman, she never really posts about products. You're never going to see a stock image on Amy Silverman's page. And I really think that that's for me, something I really connect with, because no one wants to hear about products. People are sold products everywhere they go. They want to be sold on the lifestyle and sold on the life that you're living and how you're feeling, and what kind of happiness this has brought you. So that was one of my biggest takeaways, was just, looking for those moments in your daily life to share your story, and connect it back to Beachbody, but not be all about Beachbody. Just share your life and share what you're doing, and share how, the Beachbody tools have helped you, whether it's the business side of it or just the workouts and nutrition. We all have a different story to tell. So tell your story and connect Beachbody in with it, but don't focus on selling Beachbody. That was for me, I already feel that was one of my focuses, but just to see that all the top coaches have kind of gotten there by opening up their life and sharing with people their life. That's really how they've gotten there, is by making themselves vulnerable and putting their stories out there.
And I really feel like it doesn't have to be your full story all the time. It can just be tiny bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It can be just this little thing. When I talk to coaches, it's always oh, I realized the other day that I didn't have Shakeology, and I could tell that I didn't have it. Just sharing something like that, what made you realize that you hadn't had Shakeology? Because you weren't feeling, as full, or your sweet tooth came back, or something about your energy was different. Whenever you realize that little story, that is part of your story and why Shakeology is helping you, or whatever, something small like that. Or I always hear I went to get my hair cut, and my hairdresser was blown away at how long my hair was. It's probably because of Shakeology. It's okay, you got to share that. Or I was talking earlier today with one of the diamonds on our team about her son just had a birthday party this weekend, and she was like, I got to pay for the whole birthday party and never had to worry about it. And I'm like, did you share that? And she's like, no. And she felt uncomfortable sharing about income, but it's like, you've got to find a way to share it, because when you share something, it's not about you, it's about the people that you're going to help and inspire along the way. So like topics can sometimes be uncomfortable when you're sharing, because maybe you feel like you're bragging or whatever, but don't worry about that. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as how you can impact, change somebody's life out there. You're going to touch somebody's life out there, and you're going to impact them and hopefully inspire them to take action in their own life. So I think that goes in with the storytelling.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another huge takeaway. I forgot about that. I forgot my notebook at home of all my notes. But that was another huge one. I think actually it might have been the night when they talked about tribes. And she was that was just one of the side topics that she talked about was that every Thursday they talk about, the income that their team made. Sorry, I keep meaning Amy Silverman was talking about her team and how they talk about it. And I asked the question of how do you guys talk about it without making it sound like, you're bragging about your income. And she said, no way. We just talk about what was it that she said, Lauren? It was,
what the income has allowed you to do.
Yeah. What this money, the money I earned from Beachbody this week has allowed me to blank, and they all fill in the blank and talk about it. And I think that's awesome because one of them, like last week's check, I was telling them in Belize, like this week I'm going to go buy a paddleboard because I haven't paddleboard since I was like little. And that's just one of my things that makes me happy. And, it's like one of those things you have to be able to talk about the income, because for how hard we work and how passionate we are about this, we do earn an income, which is amazing, even though it often doesn't feel like work. And to talk about, the opportunities we get, Belize alone, the reason we got to go to Belize was because of our Beachbody income. So, simply talking about those kinds of things, I think is super important. And I've gotten a lot better at it. I think I was, nervous and kind of awkward about talking about my income for a long time, but just dropping, and you don't have to give numbers every week, but, sometimes I'll say things like, like the business trip, like this is an awesome business trip. Thank you, Beachbody, for letting me go to Belize for, business and things like that. And people are, they question what you're doing. And when you consistently talk about how happy you are with the business that you're doing, people eventually come, asking. I've had quite a few messages this week saying, I see that you're home from Belize now. Can you tell me what in the world you're doing? Because I've been noticing you've been doing a lot of traveling, and you said you're working a lot. So what are you doing? So I think when people consistently hear you talk about, how excited you are about the business, the income opportunity will just come naturally with it. So that's another big one that I took away.
Yeah. So it's like, what opportunities has Beachbody opened up for you? Whether it's, staying home with your kids and not having to put them in daycare, like everyone's is a little different, and just sharing like a tidbit of what it's doing for you and what this opportunity is allowing you to do with your life is really like the best way, because you should be proud of those accomplishments. But it's like we get so like scared about talking about money and things like that because it's awkward. You just have to find ways that really connected to what you're achieving and what you are able to do because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes back to lifestyle, like you were saying, Lauren, like just sharing your lifestyle. Just sharing what you're doing is your lifestyle, and the fact that I think I shared the other day how we got to go on a trip to Belize and didn't have to worry about coming home to payday or not. Like we knew we were going to get paid no matter what, even though we didn't work all week and completely unplugged. We don't have to worry about taking vacation time, getting that time off from work.
That was a huge one. Absolutely. Yeah. I remember I just checked, actually. It's funny because now you said that, because usually every Thursday I get excited to look at, what the income was that week and stuff. And I actually didn't check it till last night because I wasn't even worried about it. Like I knew I had, my income going because I had everything, set up before we left, and I didn't have to worry about it. I think I checked teambeachbody.com once the entire time we were gone. And I had no desire to, because I knew that what we were doing was, we have it going, and it's like something that just, weekly kind of rolls over because we know what we're doing is working, and we work really hard, and we can take these weeks off and, not have to worry about a paycheck being there. And it was actually one of the biggest ones, this quarter so far. So that's pretty cool, to not have to worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I wanted to share, what they said, and something that I've kind of been thinking about and manifesting on what it truly means is, your business is not open until you are an Emerald coach. So I've never really thought about that. And the more I think about it and the more I really kind of put it into our business, I actually personally believe that your business is not open until you're a diamond coach, honestly, because I think being a diamond coach is when you're really building your team and your team is building a team. And that's really when you start to see the residual income. And let's be honest, like the whole goal with network marketing and building this team is to build a team of leaders that you basically are duplicating yourself so that you can have residual income coming in. If you teach someone to be a leader and to build their own team and to lead their own team, you've cut your work in half, right? So once you continue, if you continue to build a bunch of leaders, and that goes back to when we travel, we know things are going to be fine because we have leaders that we've all built on our teams that we know are taking care of things when we're away. So that is the whole, the beautiful thing about this business is it's a business of duplication. If you can duplicate yourself and inspire other people to pay it forward and to run their own business, you then will be rewarded financially greatly through residual income. So I personally believe that, my stance on this is your business is not really open. Like you're not really open for business until you're a diamond coach. And that may sound like, oh my God, diamond coach. And I feel like we put this whole like big thing on diamond coach, but diamond coach is not hard. Diamond coach is all about running really good challenge groups and just inspiring people to pay it forward when they have results. That's all it is. Running really good challenge groups. You don't have to recruit coaches. You just have to recruit great challengers that have the potential to be great coaches. That's it.
Absolutely.
So take that stress off of yourself about recruiting coaches, recruit challengers, and get people in your challenge groups and just focus on your challenge groups. And that cycle will continue to happen. You're going to invite people to join your team and they're going to be inspired to pay it forward when they get results. And if you stick to that mold and that model, you will be diamond coach in no time. No time. Because people are going to want to share in your lifestyle. So it goes full circle when you're sharing your lifestyle and people see that you're happy paying it forward and that you're living this life and you're able to do things that make you happy while you have an income coming in and you can take a whole day to go paddle boarding. People are going to want to be part of that. So it just kind of goes full circle. So
can I say something about that, Sarah?
Yeah.
I was actually sitting next to one of the top 10 coaches for the entire flight home. Her name's Amber Scott, and we were talking a lot about what I've done in this year and just where I've gotten to be. And I asked her, what she's done, and she was asking, so like, how have you? Because many of you who don't know, I don't know my story, but I was an Emerald coach up until September, and then I'm 3-star diamond right now. So it's just kind of grown really quickly. And she said, how are you recruiting coaches? Like, where are you finding all these coaches? I need to recruit better. And I was like, I don't think I've ever once recruited a coach. I can say that 99.9% of my coaches come from my challenge groups. So I've never recruited. And she's like, oh, really? I've gotten really, past kind of challenge groups. And I said, what do you mean you've gotten past challenge groups? Like, that's what we are all built off, is finding people who, love the products. And how do you find people who love the products? You put them in challenge groups. Mm-hmm. So, she actually has asked me for all of my challenge group templates, and she wants to know how I run challenge groups. And it was just a great validation for me, hearing from a top 10 coach asking me how in the world I'm recruiting. And I'm like, wait, how are you recruiting? And so it just goes back, you guys, like Sarah said, it's a virtuous cycle. Challenge, it starts with inviting goes into challenge groups. In those challenge groups, you find leaders, you inspire them and you motivate them and you tell them and reaffirm them that they're being a great leader. They are inspired to kind of ask you about the business, or when you ask them about the business, they're like, oh yeah, I remember when, Carly told me I was being a great leader. Maybe I could do this. And then they start to duplicate it and tell it forward, and they start inviting. So, if you are scared about the recruiting thing, Sarah's absolutely right. And it starts with challenge groups. So I just wanted to make a note about that because it's absolutely true. You don't have to recruit coaches. I never once have recruited a coach. So just a side note on that.
Love it. Lauren, do you have anything else that you wanted to share? If not, I have a few more things that
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So another thing that I had that I loved was the fact that no matter where we're at in our Beachbody business, no matter what you do outside of Beachbody, that you need to hire out help. You need to find help for yourself. So I know a lot of people on this team work full time, you have kids, and you're trying to build your Beachbody business on the side. How in the world are you going to be able to spend time with your kids, be present at your job, be present in your kids' life, and be present in your Beachbody challenge groups or with your Beachbody team, when then you also have this whole load of work, housework to do also, like, cleaning your kitchen, going grocery shopping, doing your laundry, whatever. You guys know the whole thing, the whole gamut of running a household. It's craziness. So hiring out help, and that may seem like something so far out of reach for you, but take some of that Beachbody income that you're making and invest it in yourself and hire a house cleaner, hire someone to do your laundry, hire someone to go grocery shopping for you. That will take so much time off of your plate so that when you are with your family, when you're with your kids, you are present. You are there and you're present in that moment. When you take the time to work on your Beachbody business, you are present. You're not folding laundry and trying to respond to messages. You're being present in the actions that you're taking. There was a great something called TaskRabbit. It's an app or a website or something. I'm not really sure.
I actually already posted on TaskRabbit to have someone come organize my house. So
there you go. So TaskRabbit is like for like you posting a job where someone local can come and help you with things. Like seriously, anything. I'm assuming like anything that you need help with, like wash my cars, run my errands, go to the whatever you need.
Yeah, just to show you like how it can be literally anything. There was someone on there that I posted because I was like you can read reviews on all these people. So you're not just getting like a random person. They're rated and reviewed and like they've done work and they get good stars. Like on some of the reviews, it was like, make me 20 chocolate chip cookies. Like literally they can be hired to do anything. So that was one of my big takeaways too, is delegation. Like if you're not good at graphic design and like making motivational quotes, don't spend 20 or 30 minutes messing around with your apps trying to make a motivational quote. You can easily go to Elance, which is another service you can use, and hire people virtually to do that kind of stuff for you. So whatever, like focus on your strengths, keep doing your strengths, but whatever you need help on and your, or a little bit of your weaknesses, go find someone to help you with those because it's someone else's strength out there,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Totally. So just with anything, like with your business, with your personal life, hire out help. Get someone to help you with your stuff so that you can just be more present and enjoy life so it's not so stressful. And yeah, you may have to sacrifice a few things. Like maybe you don't go out to dinner as much, or maybe you don't, have the highest cable, package or whatever. Like you're going to have to sacrifice a few things to make some of that stuff happen. But sacrifice is what helps us take a step forward. When Adam and I quit our corporate jobs, we sacrificed a lot. But because we sacrificed, we took, 10 steps forward in life to get us to that next point. So sacrifice some things to make your life easier to help you build your business to the next level. So yeah, that's really kind of all I had. Oh, and then one last thing that I wrote down for my takeaways. And I love this one, and this one makes me really happy and kind of really hits home with me. It's you can never over-recognize people. So Lauren and I and Carly were talking a lot about that because it's so funny, like so much of my downline that Hit Success Club is on Lauren's team, and so much of Lauren's team that Hit Success Club is on Carly's team. So a lot of our stuff really overlaps in terms of our teams and who we're recognizing. And the three of us were laughing. We're like, why don't we all just post? And if we recognize the same person 3 times, who cares? You know what I mean? So it's like, why aren't we all, like, we all just need to be recognizing people, even if it's multiple times. Over recognition is never going to kill anybody. So over recognize, right? So that was a good takeaway, I think, for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing that, like, I mean, I know we all already talk about this, but like personal development, like all of the top coaches or anyone that's doing anything major with this business is constantly growing and doing personal development. So, and I know like that's a big thing on our team already, but I just got some different personal development books that I added to my list. So I thought I'd share with you guys as well. The Slight Edge, I'm not sure who the author is, but I think it was one of the keynote speakers at Summit a couple years ago. So The Slight Edge is one that I've heard a lot of top coaches talk about. Tribes by Seth Godin, and The Total Money Makeover by, I think that's Dave Ramsey. So those are three of the books that I added to my list that I'm going to start doing. Total Money Makeover, I've heard a lot of really positive things about just from people that are outside of Beachbody. Since I've been home, I've like been mentioning some of these books, and Alexa Campbell on the team actually did Total Money Makeover, and she said it's really helped her. She did this long before Beachbody, but it's really helped her just with her money management and how to be financially successful. So yeah, so just the fact that personal development, you constantly need to be doing it, and it's a huge part of every top coach's business. So.
Yep. Good. Well, I think that's it. Carly, did you have anything like that you wanted to share to kind of close it up?
Shoot. Wow. That's pressure. No, I mean, I get just a recap of what we've already said. Like that trip was just so solidified that, I'm exactly where I need to be. And I know, Sarah, you talked about it too. And I think Lauren, you did too on some posts that, when you get to the point of seeing your hard work duplicate, and you see the people, create leaders and teams for themselves, and you see, the income opportunities, you see the travel opportunities, and you see what this business has done for you, there's no way not to leave a trip like that, either in tears or with a huge smile on your face, which I'm pretty sure I felt both on the ride home, so it's one of those things where you guys, if, you see us talking about Belize and you're thinking like, when am I going to get there? When can I do that? If you had asked me a year ago, I've just been a coach a year. If you'd asked me a year ago if I'd be in Belize with a bunch of coaches from Beachbody, I probably would have told you were crazy. So it's just one of those things that, because I stayed passionate and consistent, and so did Lauren and so did Sarah, that's the reason we had these opportunities, not because we're special or, we have done anything different than what you guys are doing or what you can do. So I just want, everyone who's listening and everyone who's on the call to just realize that, we're all here for a reason. And if you're still kind of trying to figure out that reason, or you're waiting for that aha moment, it will come. I waited a long time for that moment. There was even up until, a few weeks ago, I was still questioning if I was where I was supposed to be. And it doesn't need to be Belize, for you to realize that you're where you're supposed to be. If it's just the little things every day, being able to be with your kids, or, the income opportunity that you can, create with this business, there is a reason that you're here. So that's just the biggest thing that I took away, is that we all have a reason to be here, and the opportunities are absolutely endless. So I hope you guys see that too.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, thanks for being on, you guys. Thanks for sharing your takeaways. It was an amazing trip. And just a quick announcement. Adam is not on the call right now, but he is going to be looking into maybe doing a diamond retreat for Team Triceps in Belize at this same retreat. So if you are a Team Triceps Diamond, you will be invited to go. It won't be a paid trip. It will be something that you'll have to invest in. But I think we're going to do it as a group. But you must be a Diamond coach by a certain time by the end of the year to be invited to go. So just throwing it out there, nothing set in stone. We're going to look into prices and just kind of see some different packages that we could get. But anyways, want to throw that out there, that it is a possibility that you could be in Belize and kind of have a similar experience and just really find yourself spiritually, and just really find your reason why in Belize in maybe 6 or 7 months. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'll keep you guys updated on that. So thank you so much for being on. You guys are amazing. Thank you for keeping the business rolling while we were gone. You guys did awesome. I was shocked and amazed by how many people hit 515 Club when I was gone. I was just like so pumped when I saw that list. And sorry for anyone I left off. We're trying to get those kinks worked out. So Thank you for all you do, you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow night on the team call. I'm going to be doing a team call on taxes because my tax call was deleted a while back, and a lot of you are asking a lot about taxes. So I'm going to talk a lot about that this week. So anyways, we'll see you on the team call, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks again. See ya.
Bye.